Good evening, America. Welcome to Between Two W's. I'm your host, John Grimes, and tonight we'll be discussing a very important topic, women's role in society. And to transition us into this topic, we're going to watch some highlights from last night's debate between Donald Trump and Bill Clinton's wife. Mr. Trump, what are your views on women's rights?
My opponent is so irresponsible when it comes to the safety of this country that if her emails got into the hands of a country like China, what would happen is it would cause tremendous economic impact that will lead to the extra money that my opponent, Crooked Hillary, will use to fund ISIS once again. We cannot elect this criminal, and once I am elected, I will hire a personal investigator to put you in jail.
Well, my opponent, Mr. Trump,
Wrong.
I disagree with everything he says.
You're a disgrace to our country.
He's a, what do you call it? A deplorable. He's rude to women. It says here right on my receipt at Dunkin' Donuts, "Hey America, let's make it great again." He stole from Dunkin' Donuts. See? It's all right here. All your evidence, Mr. Trump. You even said it yourself, right here. "Hey America."
How about your emails, Hillary?
Now back to your question about women.
Avoids the question. Wrong.
Mr. Trump, he's not the kind of guy you want to have in the White House. He's
This is the same woman that says America is great because America is good. What does that even mean, Hillary?
Well, you see, what happened was, this one time my phone went off in the middle of a debate, and then I realized, ping, America's great because it's good.
Wrong. America can be great once again if we elect me
But it's already
And not
great
Crooked
because
Hillary.
it's good.
to our country. I have utmost respect for women. But I will say that you have a garbage can podium for a reason. You as a woman are below me in society. I have the utmost respect for women.
Are you for serious? You have.
See, now
you have
she's
got
trying to
be
win
kidding
the
me.
vote.
You have got to be kidding.
I have the utmost respect for women.
Good evening to all those men that matter. Here we are with my good friend Phil Cog, and we're getting ready to be in between two W's, if you know what I mean. Winky, winky. Our first question between two W's is one. It's got two parts though, alright? So how do you spell your name? And second off, what is your opinion on this wage gap that is reportedly so important to our Americano cultures?
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Phil Cog, Fillcogg. And as far as the wage gap goes, it's complete myth. It's been debunked by thousands of scientists, and the thing that makes it a myth is the women, they, instead of going to work, if they have a kid, they stay home with the kid. And they work in the kitchen where they belong, they do the laundry like they should be doing, and that's why people think there's a wage gap, but it's a myth, a complete myth.
You heard it here, folks. Sorry, I was just I was picturing all the clean laundry and the great food me sitting at my table when I get home after this great interview I'm having with my great friend Phil. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. When you think of a woman, what is one of the first things that comes to mind when you think about them? Like, is she like a model, or is she like one of those people that you see dying on a wharf? Now, I just want to know what your opinion is on this subject.
So, well, you see, when I think of a woman, I think of a Barbie doll. You know, it's the perfect ideal that a woman should be. Every woman should aspire to be a Barbie doll. It's the perfect body complexion, you know, and the physical attributes of women are really what I look for. The personality is a plus, but you know, definitely the physical attributes is the main part of it.
Alright, so for this next question, I've been looking back in good old history's sake, trying to understand history and how they respected these women. I mean, not much has changed. So I'm just curious what your opinion is for what's happened to these women. I mean, I just don't know. How did they lose so much respect?
Yeah, absolutely. You bring up a good point. And women in the past, like in medieval times, they were entrusted to have more responsibility in their roles, and whatever they did, they could. Some were cupbearers in the palace. They worked alongside men, building up the walls in around the kingdom, and even before that with the Geats in.
I understand where you're coming from here.
You know what I mean.
It is an interesting concept of how they were able to hold that much power.
Yeah, absolutely, and even today, like they still have those same roles and rights as men do. Nothing has changed at all, in my opinion. Even in the history of this country, women have always had the same rights as men. They could always vote. They could always have same jobs, equal pay, everything. Nothing's changed.
What a great response! Now. Alright, what a great response there. I love the new chin strap going on. Alrighty, gonna get a dab in there. Oh, you just saw it, folks, here first. Alright, so let's get ready to finalize this night up with one more question from the fantastic, humongous. Alright, that's my name, by the way, because I never said it. Anyway, here we go. Alright, last question of the night. Now, when it comes to women and prostitution, what are your views? It's a very controversial topic that a lot of women are getting into for the money and just because they can. So what is your opinions of this topic?
Well, it's interesting you bring that up, Hugh. Prostitution may be controversial to some people, but in reality, it really boosts our economy. It brings in over $40 billion a year. That's billion with a B. Now, I find this pretty amazing. Now, some women feel like they may be objectified by it, but in reality, it's a great economic booster.
I never knew that, and I'm really curious to find out. What do you do for a living, Phil?
Phil? Well, right now I'm a data analyst, but I am an ex-gym teacher, and if there's one thing I learned, it's that women are nowhere near as athletic as men, which I'm not really surprised by, but...
No, that makes a lot of sense, because if you think about it, in professional sports, you have the NFL, and the females are cheerleaders on the sidelines. Baseball, there's no professional softball league. It's the
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
NBA, there's the WNBA, but we don't talk
No
about
one
that.
watches that. Yeah.
And then you have, there's something else I'm thinking of. Oh, it's hockey. You don't see women out there now, do you? No, you don't.
No, you don't. No,
so I do have
absolutely
to
not.
agree with that. That's a great point you brought up there.
Thank you, Hugh.
All right, this was this week's version of Two Men in Between Two W's. Now, you won't find anything like this for a long time. Next week, we'll be getting ready between two men and two bushes. That's something new. You haven't seen that yet. Anyway, now it's been an honor having you, Phil. You're a great guy. I've learned a lot from you, and I'm so glad you were here. I'm humongous, and you're sexy. And on that note, we're just going.
All right, attention all W's. I want to talk to you over at camera 3. While we realize this interview took place on our program, it does not necessarily reflect the views and ideas of Between Two W's, and we apologize to anyone that was offended, because we do realize that men and women do deserve equal rights. That's all for this week on Between Two W's. I'm your host, John Grimes. We'll see you next week.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are on Two Men and a Bush. Tremendous economic impact on our country. Just leave it. Looks like Grandma got lost yet another debate. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready for Two Men and a Bush. Here I am with my good friend, and we're getting ready to be two men between two bush.
Go.
Good evening, Al. All right, Mr. Phil. I have a quick question. One is, how do you spell your name? And number, technically it's one, it's like part one and part B. So here we go. First, I want to know.
And as far as the wage gap goes, absolutely, you bring up a good point.
So well, that just happened. Now on to the next question. Oh boy. Okay, so sorry about that. I just got a little crazy. Anyway, all right. So here we go. Now, What a great response. Now let's go.
No.
I analyze data and then I what?